So you're an older man. Maybe you've built a life. You've been through love, pain, failure, success, and now a younger woman shows up. She's beautiful, full of energy, curious about you. And suddenly, something inside you wakes up. It feels exciting. You feel wanted. You feel young again. But this is where most men make their biggest mistake. Not because she's young, not because the age gap is wrong, but because they forget who they are. This video isn't here to shame you. It's here to protect you from losing your edge, from losing your mission, from losing your self-respect. Watch closely, brother, because the one thing you must never do with a younger woman is give away your center. 1. Never try to be her age. You're not 22. You're not supposed to be. Stop trying to talk like her, dress like her, or impress her with things that don't matter. You don't attract her by being trendy. You attract her by being timeless. Your strength is your maturity, your experience, your calm. When you chase her world, she stops respecting yours. Be the man who stands still while her world spins. That's what she's drawn to, not the man who follows, but the man who leads. 2. Don't be her emotional dumping ground. She tells you her past, her traumas, her chaos. And you want to help. You listen. You comfort. You think, she trusts me. But here's the truth. She's not building a connection, she's offloading her emotions. You're not her boyfriend. You've become her therapist. And the more you try to be there for her, the more she sees you as soft, not solid. A stoic man listens, but he doesn't get pulled into storms. Stay calm, stay clear, don't rescue. You're not her savior, you're the anchor. 3. Don't chase her approval. When you chase a younger woman's approval, you slowly start losing your power without even realizing it. It begins with small things. You wait too long for her reply. You reread your texts before sending them. You second-guess your words. You say things not because they're true, but because you think they'll make her like you. You laugh at jokes that don't make sense. You smile when she pushes your boundaries. You hold back your opinions to avoid sounding too much. And maybe you tell yourself it's just being nice, just being respectful. But deep down, what's really happening? You're trying to win her over. You're trying to be accepted. You want her to approve of you so badly that you're willing to shrink just to stay close. But here's the problem. The moment she feels that you need her approval, she starts to pull away. Not because she's mean, not because she's playing games, but because something shifts in the energy. You're no longer the solid man with his own path. You've become someone trying to keep her. And that energy feels desperate, not attractive. It feels soft, not strong. A woman doesn't want to lead the dance. She wants to be led, not controlled, but guided by a man who knows where he's going. A man who is rooted, steady, and not easily shaken. When you start chasing her attention, you stop leading your own life. You stop making decisions for you. You start adjusting everything to please her. And when she becomes the center of your energy, she stops feeling drawn to you. She might still talk to you. She might still be kind. But that fire, that spark, it fades. Because she no longer sees you as the man she admired, she sees someone hoping to be liked. And women don't want to carry that weight. They don't want to be the reason you feel good about yourself. They want to be around a man who already does. So speak your truth, even if she disagrees. Hold your standard, even if she walks away. Let her see that your peace doesn't depend on her presence. That's the key. You don't need her to like you. You need to like yourself. And the moment you stop trying to impress is the moment she starts paying closer attention. Not because you chased her, but because you reminded her what a real man looks like. 4. Never sacrifice your mission. This is where strong men often lose themselves. Not when she ignores them, not when she pulls back, but when she starts to feel special. You meet her. She's young, beautiful, full of life. And something about her lights you up again. You feel seen. You feel wanted. You feel like maybe, just maybe, this could be something real. But in that feeling, you begin to shift. You skip your morning routine. You cancel your workout. You delay a project you've been planning for months. You say yes to things you'd normally say no to all because you don't want to lose her. You want her to feel like a priority. You want her to feel important. And little by little, you step off your path. But here's the truth. Most men don't hear until it's too late. A woman doesn't want to become your purpose. She wants to feel safe beside a man who already has one. At first, she may love the attention. She may enjoy the time, the effort, the flexibility, but over time she'll start to feel it that you've shifted your entire world to revolve around her. And when that happens, the attraction doesn't deepen, it starts to die. Not because she's ungrateful, but because she can't respect a man who trades his mission for comfort. Your mission, your work, your growth, your path, that's what made you magnetic in the first place. That was your edge, the fire in your eyes, the sense of direction in your energy, the discipline in how you move. The moment you stop moving forward and start orbiting her, she stops seeing you as a leader and starts seeing you as a follower. That's not what she's drawn to. That's not what she trusts. That's not what inspires her to stay. So don't bend. Don't pause your purpose to hold her hand. If she's right for your life, she'll respect your focus. She'll want to be part of it, not the reason you abandon it. Stay committed to your growth. Stay loyal to your goals. Don't let infatuation distract you from becoming the man you were meant to be. Because if she walks away while you're standing tall in your purpose, you didn't lose her. She lost the chance to walk beside a man who's going somewhere. And if she stays, it's not because you gave her everything. It's because you gave her something worth following. 5. Don't share your depth too fast. You've lived. You've seen things. You've been through love, failure, heartbreak, and rebuilding. You carry years of lessons, the kind that can't be taught in books or podcasts. That's your depth. That's your value. That's what separates you from the boys still trying to find themselves. But here's where many older men fall into a quiet trap. They meet a younger woman who's curious, who asks deep questions, who seems different, and they open the vault too quickly. You share your past, your pain, your failures, your deepest thoughts, thinking it will make her feel close, make her respect you more. But too much too soon doesn't create connection, it creates pressure. She didn't earn that part of you. She didn't show stability yet. She hasn't even proven that she's ready to hold what you carry. So, what happens? Instead of feeling honored, she feels overwhelmed. Or worse, she takes your depth for granted. Not because she's cruel, but because we don't value what's freely given. We value what we have to rise to meet. You are not supposed to hide who you are, but you are supposed to guard it. Depth is power, but only when it's revealed at the right time, to the right person. When you meet someone new, your job isn't to impress her with how wise or emotionally open you are. It's to observe. Watch how she handles discomfort. Watch how she reacts to honesty. Watch how she behaves when things don't go her way. Because anyone can be curious, but very few are consistent. If she proves herself steady, if she shows up with maturity, respect, and patience, then you share more. But never let her pull that out of you just because she's young and pretty and ask the right question. Real men don't pour out everything hoping to be understood. They allow their truth to unfold slowly, intentionally to the one who's ready to receive it. And when you move that way, something powerful happens. You don't just protect your heart. You become magnetic, not because you're mysterious for show, but because you value your depth too much to give it away to someone who hasn't earned the right to hear it. 6. Don't let her games shake you. At some point, she's going to test you. Not always on purpose, and not always in obvious ways, but it'll happen. She might pull back for no reason. She might get quiet or distant. She might say something sarcastic, cold, or even disrespectful just to see what you'll do. Most men panic when this happens. They chase, they over-explain, they try to fix the mood, they send more texts, they ask, "Did I do something wrong?" They try to smooth it over with compliments or promises. But what they don't realize is this: the moment you react like that, you've already lost control of the frame. You're no longer leading, you're being led. You're moving based on her emotions, not your own direction. And that's exactly when her respect starts to fade. Because deep down, what she's really looking for is not a man who gets it right all the time, but a man who stays calm when things get messy. A man who doesn't chase approval every time she pulls away. A man who doesn't lose his center just because her energy changes. She wants to feel that you don't flinch. Not because you're cold, not because you don't care, but because you're steady, you're grounded, you know who you are, and her mood doesn't decide your worth. That's your role, to be the rock. Not to win arguments, not to convince her, not to prove anything, just to stand firm in who you are. So when she pulls back, let her. When she throws a little emotional storm your way, don't get swept up in it. When she tests your tone, your boundaries, your patience, respond with clarity, not emotion. A real man doesn't move unless he chooses to. Not because he's afraid to lose her, but because he refuses to lose himself. And when she sees that calm, quiet strength, that's when she feels something she didn't expect. Respect. And that respect, not attention, not approval, is what builds real attraction. 7. Don't buy her time. Command her attention. This is one of the biggest mistakes older men make. They try to buy a younger woman's attention, not always with money, but with effort, with time, with energy, with constant availability. You plan expensive dinners, you send long messages, you compliment her more than she compliments you. You're always the one reaching out first, always giving, always proving. Why? Because deep down you think the more you give, the more she'll stay. But here's the truth. If she's only showing up when you're giving something, she's not really showing up for you. She's showing up for the comfort, the attention, the benefits. Real desire, the kind that lasts, doesn't come from performance. It comes from presence, from who you are when you're not trying to impress, from the life you've built when she's not even around. You don't attract her by being loud. You attract her by being grounded. A man on his mission, a man with focus, a man who doesn't need her but welcomes her if she brings value. That's the kind of man a woman respects. That's the kind of man she leans into, not because he begged for attention, but because he didn't. Your energy should speak louder than your effort. So, instead of texting her all day, go build something. Instead of asking for her time, protect yours. Instead of adjusting your life to fit her in, let her wonder what kind of life you're living that doesn't stop just because she's not responding. Let her feel the weight of your absence. Because when a man is always available, always giving, always reaching, she doesn't feel drawn in. She feels control, and control kills mystery. Mystery is where attraction lives. So stop trying to buy attention. Stop trying to earn affection through action. Start embodying the kind of presence that makes her feel lucky just to be noticed by you. You don't need to chase. You just need to stand still long enough for her to realize what she's standing in front of. Brother, if you're an older man, here's something you need to remember deeply, clearly, without apology. You don't win her by being younger. not by dressing like her friends, not by knowing every trending topic, not by proving you can keep up. You win her by being fully, completely, unapologetically you. Because the right kind of woman isn't looking for a man who fits in. She's looking for a man who stands out not with noise, but with depth. The Stoic man doesn't chase. He doesn't perform. He doesn't bend himself just to be liked. He leads with presence. He builds with purpose. He moves with quiet strength and steady conviction. He doesn't react to every emotion. He doesn't need attention to feel alive. He doesn't need to be chosen because he's already chosen himself. And if she walks away, he still wins. Why? Because he never traded his strength for her smile. He never gave away his mission for a moment of affection. He never shrank himself just to be accepted. He rose. He stayed grounded. He remained a mountain not for her to climb, but for her to respect. And only the woman who's truly ready for that kind of man will rise to meet him. So, hold your line, walk your path, and remember, real love doesn't cost your identity. It recognizes it. That's what makes you unforgettable. Comment below, I lead from center, if you're done chasing and ready to lead with strength and clarity. Voice. And if this spoke to you, if it reached the part of you that's tired of pretending, tired of performing, then subscribe. Not to follow the crowd, but to walk alongside men who are building something real, men who choose truth over approval, purpose over pressure, and discipline over distraction. This isn't about being liked. It's about being rooted.